Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday, it's 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for the Relic Grind, our Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix podcast. Chat is here live, twitch.tv/Ready Check Radio. Chat ready to go with their opinions. We're ready to go with ours. And we actually have a wild Tarkoth back. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a wild Tarkoth is back. Before we introduce the gentlemen who are going to talk with me, if you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify, Audible, wherever else, make sure you head on over to Ready Check Radio in the upper right-hand corner. I've got all the socials for you: Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Audible, iTunes, Spotify, whatever. Click it, follow, subscribe. If you like what we do here and you want to see more of it, it's the easiest, fastest, and in fact, freest way to support us, and we very much appreciate it. On the line, in his new residence, but gonna sound a little less like normal today. Just he's not going to quite be there because we're starting a little late due to some microphone malfunction. So he's got to use the headset, so bear with us if we get a little tinny today on Tarkoth's end. It's Mr. Chris Montoya. What's up, Tarkoth?
Greetings, programs. I've been a fan of this show for quite a long time. Thank you for having me on as a guest. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Glad to be here.
Yes. So you are in the new place. You finally got your stuff. It actually arrived just this past weekend. The internet people left 30 minutes ago. So you're still broken.
Yeah, I'm still broken. I lost my wallet 2 days ago. It's been a hell of a month. It's just I spent.
And he's cutting out. He's cutting out. Also on the line, Adam Lane, a.k.a. Kronos. What's up, sir?
What's going on? This is like reminding me of what I had to deal with Chris like every week. So it's pretty good.
Mr. Adams himself. We got to have him back on, by the way, when the next set drops. Next Final Fantasy set. Whenever that is, we still haven't even gotten our starters here in North America. So who knows? Gents, so last week we did our little bit of Kronos and I throwing out some predictions or just more along the lines of things we wanted to see or thought we would see in the live letter that was last Friday for everybody on the Final Fantasy XIV front. Well, that letter was pretty short, to the point, and done. They got out of Dodge, they finished everything up, and left. And we kind of thought that was going to be the case, Kronos, because one of the big delays that makes these longer is live translation. This letter was not. It was back in Japanese only, so we had to rely on real-time fan translation and then the official posts coming afterwards. So they got through very quickly. But I got to say, if I look at it as a whole, I don't feel like I learned a whole lot more about 6.1 than I knew before it. Maybe a couple tidbits, and we'll get to those as we go through here. We do know that 6.1 is going to be in quote-unquote mid-April. So probably, looking at anywhere between, let's say, the 4th and the 18th-ish, or 5th and the 19th-ish, if we want to put it on the Tuesday, Wednesday cycle. So, yeah, that would be right on par with a 4-month development from the Endwalker launch. So that makes total sense, considering that they said they want to do 4-month cycles now instead of 3.5-month cycles. But aside from that and a few tidbits, like I said, that we'll get to, I didn't walk away feeling like I knew a whole lot more, Kronos. I felt like there was an awful lot of, we're going to go deeper into this in the next live letter. We're going to go deeper into this in the next live letter. We're going to go deeper into this in the next live letter.
Yeah, I felt like they should have just combined this one with the last one, honestly.
Yeah, or combine this with the next one.
Or that.
One of the two.
Yeah, or that. Like, this just felt like, like you said, they just basically showed us a bunch of stuff we already knew. We got some screenshots, which is cool. They literally had a slide that said job adjustments, and that was it. That was the whole entire slide said.
That was all that was on it.
Which I thought was hilarious. We got a new Ultimate screenshot, which is cool. But like, I can't help but feel like you said, it either should have like combined with the last one or combined with the next one, and not have three. Just doesn't really feel like it was necessary. I guess. Like I thought they were gonna go deeper into this one. They didn't go deep into anything really.
Yeah, you and I thought, and Tark, you'll have to see we'll see if you agree here. We honestly thought that they were going to spend a lot of this live letter on the PvP, on the crystalline conflict, and kind of focus there, and then use the next live letter to queue up a lot of the other things. But yeah, it just seemed like this was a teaser in a lot of ways for 6.1 rather than a 6.1 information dump, even just a mini dump. Whatever.
Felt like the last one was like a specific patch outline, and then they didn't give us much in way of fleshy details.
Yeah, so we got the release in mid-April. The main scenario. We know that that's going to be a new chapter. They said that again, a whole new storyline. They did give us a little bit more on there, in that it takes place just a few months after the end of Endwalker, and they said this was really weird. They said it's a continuation of the story in a way. In a way. So they like pumped up Endwalker is it. This storyline is over. But by the way, like we're going to continue the story in a certain way. So kind of what we expected though, right? Like threads of what has happened might leak into it, but the main arcing story coming up is not going to have anything to do with Zodiac Hydaelyn and anything like that. I didn't expect them to like just everything disappears and we start anew with a whole new journey. So this kind of made sense to me when they teased it that way. Side quest, Tataru's Grand Endeavor begins. We have no idea really what that's going to be. Role quests, going to be some more of those. The tribe quests are coming. Hildebrand is back, but that's going to be 6.1.5, and that's, again, normal for the Hildebrands. Omega Beyond the Rift 6.1X, created to bridge the Omega Raid series with the 6.0 main scenario content. What is this, Kronos?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's definitely a surprise. No one really knew that they were doing it, because they didn't even like mention this in the last.
Yeah, this is like a jump back and let's kind of pull something into the story here.
Yeah, because like I mean, when you get to the end of Endwalker and you see all that stuff and you realize it's tied to Omega, it's really just that's all you really get is like a little bit of tidbit stuff, and then like the story about like the race and everything, like what they did. So I guess this is going to be more like tying like more actual Omega stuff to that, which is going to be kind of cool. I mean, that's probably the most interesting stuff about the Omega raids in my opinion. I'm not like a big fan of like the Dream Your Own tournament, that whole kind of thing that they kind of try to do, but I do like the whole stuff with like him and Megar Stormer and stuff. So I hope that's what we're getting more of, which I imagine that'll be the case.
Are you happy? Really cool. Are you happy Hildebrand's back, Tark?
Yeah, Hildebrand's awesome. He's funny as hell. It's the best levity that they have in this game. So yeah, give me more of them. I appreciate it. I'm nowhere near caught up. That's another thing to do on my list, but you know.
You've been skipping Hildebrands?
And shelving two different things.
Okay. You shelved two different things. I don't know. Yeah. Improvements to a Realm Reborn main scenario quest. A new dungeon that they would not reveal. They said it's a secret. Obviously, Endsinger's Aria is the trial. Ultima's Bane is the Unreal, and the Alliance raid. We knew about all these. Then we had job adjustments, which was, yeah. Okay. Job adjustments. We do have a name, too. Newfound Adventure, which, I mean...
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm sorry, what, Tark?
On all the bits and pieces from all the previous...
Yeah, I think Tark's just going to have to sit there and look pretty for the rest of the show.
He's talking about the art. Yeah, he's talking about the art. How I think I caught most of it. Like how it like kind of shows the different Warriors of Light, like the Derplander going through the different expansions.
I mean, as far as names go, I'm just kind of like, oh, well, you guys really just took the easy way out on this one, huh? It's a new adventure. What should we call it? New Adventure. Well, no, we can't call it New Adventure. Newfound Adventure. Give that man a raise. PvP updates. Didn't get much. Just a little more refresh of the reward system coming, adrenaline rush actions, the feast ending as of 6.1, new custom deliveries. I do like that we're going to be doing custom deliveries from Mama Levelier. I do like that. Gotta just drop
In
some
our
stuff
bikini.
off at the... Yeah, just gotta... Wait, what? Just gotta drop some stuff off at the Levelier house. Housing, Ishgard housing, adventure plates. They were calling them calling cards, but that was a placement holder. Now it's adventure plates. And then here's how the duty support is going to work. It's not the trust system anymore, gents.
Well, the trust system's still there.
Yeah, it's just two different things. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, it's going to be a different thing though. The duty support as of 1.0, we've got quite a few. As of 6.1, we'll have Sistasha, Temtara, Deepcroft, Copperbell Mines, Bowl of Embers, Thousand Maws, Hawk Manor, Brayflox, Longstop, the Naval, Stone Vigil, Howling Eye, Castrum Meridianum, the Praetorium, and the Porta di Cumana. It's the ultimate weapon battle. Remember, that's being split up so that it saves a lot of time, mercifully. It does make it a little weird on like end bosses there, but like poor La Habrea was just getting murked before he could even finish his monologue. So hopefully that'll help. Yeah, a lot of revisions to Cape Westwind and later duties. Some of them becoming solo quest battles instead of 8-player trials. Hawk Manor has been adjusted to add a teleporter after the second boss, where you would previously have used the return spell. That one felt weird to me. I'm like, really? We're gonna fix that? Now we're gonna fix that?
I guess it's because they're fixing all the other stuff, right? Like they're basically, it looks like they're taking kind of like at least what they can right now with ARR, and they're like, if we did this today, how would we do it? Like with what we already have. So it kind of makes sense because, I mean, I run it when I get that sometime. I mean, I haven't got it in a while, but when I used to get it and there'd be like a new person in there, they don't know. They'd have to like watch the other 3 people return, and then sometimes they're so new they don't even know what return is.
Yeah.
So. I mean, it's kind of vague, I guess, and it's more like a legacy thing. So I think it makes sense adding it there. I didn't know that, because I don't think they talked about it specifically in the last live letter, but like making La Habrea also his own solo instance. I don't know if they.
Yeah. So Tark, what do you think about this? You weren't here.
Split up into 3 parts.
Yeah, Castrum Meridianum becomes 4 players, and then the Praetorium gets broken up into 3 sections. There's going to be available duties for Castrum Meridianum, the Praetorium, and Porta di Cumana. Those are the 4-player trials. So the way it works is from the beginning of Praetorium through Gaius, that's a 4-player dungeon. Ultima Weapon is a 4-player trial. And then La Habrea is a solo quest battle. So rip fighting La Habrea unless you're brand new, I guess, at this point. That's really the only time we're ever going to see that fight again.
Do the ultimate. He's there.
Yeah, because you're not going to get him. You're not going to get him with
talking
the main
away,
scenario.
and he's just talking away. We can't hear him. Can't hear him. And then sometimes he talks, and all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, we hear what he was saying. The team debated removing the main scenario roulette. This was something, Kronos, you and I talked about. Like, what do you do with main scenario roulette at this point then? They actually thought about taking it out, but the dungeons are still longer than normal dungeons, yet shorter than previous iterations. So it's still going to be there, but it's kind of getting a massive nerf.
If that's the case, I feel like they should think about putting the research facility from Heavensward into this as well, because that dungeon's also way longer than other regular dungeons, and that gets a pass. That's just a level 60 dungeon. So I don't know. That seems. I mean, I think you just do away with it. I mean, I understand their reasoning, but it just doesn't feel like it needs to be there anymore. And maybe they eventually still will. But
ever wanted to try something on that was in the cash shop, gentlemen? Well, now you can.
The Omega.
The dream fitting tool will let you try on stuff that's in the cash shop. But while you glamour hounds may like this, and some of the other glamour changes, by the way, you got your wish. You got your wish, Kronos. You got your wish too, Tark. You are getting an increase it was going from what to 800 slots, doubling.
800, yes, 800.
Which is nice.
And then you're getting
6.2.
five extra plates too.
Yeah, I think those were like just necessary. Like if that didn't happen, like,
however,
my retainers are happy. I'll tell you that.
The best feature ever being introduced is right here, right there. Categorizing certain items under the miscellany title. That's going to include mounts, emotes, fashion accessories, and a modern aesthetics separated from that category. New filter to show items not obtained, and a little check mark if you've already used the item. So you don't have to try and buy it and fail to buy it, or go ahead and buy it and realize, shit, it's already one I have. And nice. Best feature ever. Implementation of a little check mark. That's it. That's all I wanted. Let me know which ones I have so that I don't always have to go to Minion Collect.
If they could do this, then they know what fucking gear that I have. I'd have gotten.
Yup.
I'm just saying.
Yup. Transmog. Let's do it. Data center travel, they did go into that a little bit. They spent more time though on Japanese data center expansion because they're adding the whole meteor. It felt like even they weren't happy about this. Like obviously a lot of the Japanese players not happy about this. But it felt like even they were like, look, we really didn't want to do this again to the Japanese data centers, but you know what? For the long-term health of the game and populations, we kind of had to.
I mean, you get the move for free, and I think you also get in-game gil for moving. So like it sucks. Like my free company moved when like the whole crystal thing happened, but I mean, I don't know. You get reimbursed, and it's free. Like you don't get charged. It's not like you're paying extra money. It does, like for your estates stuff though. It does kind of suck. Like for your housing.
Tark, do you speak German or French?
Das Boot.
My God, your microphone's killing me.
Jesus Christ. This sucks.
I'm just going to leave the camera on him and let him figure it out. I'm not.
Just we were talking about duty support. My audio is duty and I need support.
Yeah,
we'll have to hire a lip sync like a translator. Yeah,
it's gonna take more than 4 players to fix whatever the hell's going on over there. The team is hiring French and German translators, so if you want a job and you are proficient, there you go. I do want to bring something up that I saw. I think the first time I saw it was Adam. You tweeted this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it, it's original to you. It was you retweeted something else.
It was a forum post.
Yeah, it was a forum post. But I think I didn't see it on the forums. I saw it via your tweet.
Typically, when this happens, they delete those. But yeah. It's usually the screenshots. I think that lasts.
Yeah, I have the screenshot up here. Let me take the trailers that are behind it away. So this is from the Final Fantasy XIV forums, and it's basically in reply to 6.1 being, in this person's estimation, rather sparse for anybody that isn't Adam and into Ultimates, right? So they say, what are players who aren't going to do Ultimate do for the next 4 months in 6.1? 1, do the Alliance raid, which probably takes 1 to 2 hours to complete on day 1. And you know what? They're probably right there.
Yeah, that's true.
2, do the Tataru and Hildebrand quests, which take 2 hours judging by previous instances. And, okay, if we assume Tataru's storyline or whatever is about the length of an average Hildebrand segment, and this Hildebrand segment is going to be around the length of the average previous Hildebrand segments, they're probably right on that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Do the new Extreme Trial, which takes like 2 to 4 hours to clear. All right, maybe. I mean,
it depends on your group skill.
It's going to depend on your group and if you're pugging it and if you've got a steady group. But let's say that that's probably accurate if you've got a steady group of moderate skill.
Yeah.
Waste 5 minutes every day on beast tribes and waste 3 minutes every day every week on custom delivery. Again, probably pretty true. Congratulations. That's all you have for 4 months, $60 in subscription fees. That's even less than what you get from a typical AAA single-player title. With this little content, they should be accelerating patch delivery, not slowing it down. Now, going through each of those points there, Tark, we kind of said, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4, they're not wrong. Like, okay, maybe a few extra hours on the extreme trial if your group's a little behind. But they're not wrong on any of these things. If you set aside the ultimate raid, and we agree that they're not wrong with these time estimates for these 4 things, is that a letdown? Is that a disappointment? Is that an overcharge for somebody that's paying for 4 months and has to wait till really 6.2 to do the content or get the content that they're really into?
No, because this game has never really been designed around every patch being for everyone. If you don't find content that you're looking for, Yoshi P's gone on record, unsub, take a break. This can be people's break patch, and come back in a couple more months and catch up on all the content that you want to do. There's no saying that you have to do all the content or that everything is for you, and it's not. There's so much different and a variety in content that applies to a broad base of people, and not everything's going to be for everyone.
I'm not going to lie. Like, when they broke it down, I was like, wow, that's kind of right. And then I was also like, well, sweet, man. Nice. All right. Now, I mean, I'm going to sub all 4 months, right? It's just what I do. Even if I'm not actively playing every single day, I just never let the thing go lapse, really. And I'm going to max my reputations, and I still have other past stuff I want to do too, and that's something that I think this post does not take into consideration is, okay, this post operates on the assumption that you have literally, as of today, accomplished every single thing you ever wanted to accomplish in the game too. Whether that be leveling alternate classes, whether that be farming mounts like you, Kronos, farming minions like me. I did cross the 400 barrier on my minions. Leveling the other classes, completing the deep dungeon solo. Like, there's a myriad of lists of things that you can go and do, and this list kind of makes the assumption for the argument to stand on its own that you have already accomplished. I'm not going to say you've done everything in the game, because you may not want to do everything in the game. That's fine. But have you accomplished everything you want to accomplish in the game already? If you haven't, then damn, this feels like a real good time for you to log in, do those dailies real quick for your beast tribe, and then go farm a couple damn minions.
Just tribes from now on.
Yeah, just tribes. Tribes. They're not beasts. So
The old ones are beasts. The new ones are tribes.
The new ones, yeah, beasts and tribes. So it is absolutely, to me, like catch-up time if there's things you have been missed. You wanted to do Blue Mage but never felt like doing it. You got plenty of time now. I can't disagree with their argument, but you better be, for the argument to stand in Kronos in my book, you better have done everything in this game that you want to do already. And then I would say, yeah, you know what? Maybe unsub for a month or two and go play Elden Ring, or go play the Project Triangle Strategy or Triangle Strategy. You go play some of these other things that are coming. Yeah, Stranger of Paradise here coming up next week. The demo's live now. You can go play it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, I can't argue with the post, but I think it shortchanges things a little bit.
Yeah, I think his points are valid. I do think if you're pugging the extreme, it's probably going to take you a little bit longer than that. But if you have a group, that's totally feasible. My group typically is like 90 minutes to 2 hours max. But the thing is he's also leaving stuff off, too. First off, if you're just talking straight up 6.1, the Ultimate's not even there. So I assume we're talking about 6.1 as a whole. In which case...
talking about the 4 months.
Yeah, because they do reference the 4 months. So they'd be talking about all 6.1
PvP, there's so much other... There's, other stuff. He doesn't even mention the MSQ, also. But, which also is probably, a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's not... Look, I've done a lot of stuff in this game. pretty close to like saying that. Like I haven't done everything. There maybe it's like a very small amount of people that have literally done everything in this game, but I do a lot of stuff. So I think there's actually a lot to do in this patch if you're interested in it. And I think the best thing about Final Fantasy is like whatever you want your end game to be, it can be. Like if there's a patch that's very heavy on housing, why would I be upset about that? There's tons of people that like that's what they like doing.
Yeah.
They put time into like the G post stuff. That's like every patch has some new stuff for them too. Like that doesn't necessarily mean people are interested in that too. Island Sanctuary, I'm not crazy about it. I'll probably try it, but like there's people that are like super excited about that, and that's great. So like if like you're playing this game trying to get like every ounce of every penny that you spend, that's fine too. But if you need to do that, you're gonna have to take breaks. You're gonna have to unsub, and then maybe sub, every 3 patches or so, and then you have yourself basically a full price game by the time you're paying your $14 sub, right? Like if you wait for the X1, the X2, the X3 patch, and then come back, like if you beat Endwalker, take a break, come back that like after the 0.3, that's like probably another $60 game worth of hours that you can play. And if that's what you want to do, then do that. But don't complain because there's a piece of content that's considered a time sink. Which honestly, if I'm being also honest, I'll probably spend more time on the other things than the ultimate. Even though the ultimate is what excites me the most, we'll probably kill that in like 6 weeks or so, 4 to 6 weeks, and I'll probably still be doing some of this other stuff like PvP after that. So I think there's plenty to do. I think that notion that like they need to like increase their patch cycle, I think what they did was fine. I just think that person and the people that feel that way.
And let's not forget that it's not necessarily because they want the patches to have more content, Tark. It's the idea is we don't want to kill our staff. And you know what? I'm totally okay.
Yeah.
I'm 100% okay with you not crunching the hell out of your staff.
And one of those things is I'm glad that they're giving them, an extra week in the summer and in the winter. So the next patch is going to be 4 months and 1 week because they're going to have their summer break too. So I'm fine with them giving them that time. So it puts no bearing on the content that gets released, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? If you 100% agree with that post, which I don't find anything wrong with the post besides maybe the tone that it's being delivered in, and there's nothing else you want to do, then don't pay. Don't sub. There are so many other things right now just inside the Square Enix umbrella, let alone the gaming umbrella as a whole right now, as a whole. Hey, a weird issue, by the way, for those of you, and this may have been solved. I didn't see that it was exactly solved, so I'll just detail it here. If you are now linking to Steam so that you can play 14 through there was a little weird error during that security process where you couldn't launch the game. Many people didn't have a problem. There's still Final Fantasy Square Enix still looking into it, but they said they fixed the issue late yesterday, but I did see people that I know on Twitter still having it. So timing, Japan versus United States here. This may be totally resolved as of last night for many of you. But a nice little workaround was if you changed your Steam name to not have any numbers in it, you had no problem.
My raid member had to do that to raid on Tuesday.
What a weird little problem, right?
It was. I understand like why they did this. No one like this hotfix. I don't think anybody really asked for. I think they had actually gotten Steam to a pretty decent place, and then they kind of like just jacked it up again. I think it's kind of weird, but hopefully they've resolved everything because they also jacked up a lot of other stuff too. But I think it's mostly resolved now.
Little Ladies Day and the Moogle Treasure Trove next week. Yay, buddy. I'm only really happy about that because I have one stupid minion still locked behind that itinerant Moogle, so I can go ahead and grab that real quick. Other than that, I don't care.
Which one is it?
I don't know off the top of my head. Give me 1 second.
Well, there's only 2.
There's 2 there.
Ivon and the Behemoth.
I will tell you which one I do not have. It is itinerant Moogle, the Taoist Moogle.
Yeah, that's the one that's like specific to the tones. Yeah. It's like the one with the hat, right? He has like the red hat on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I need that little guy. You already have him, Tark.
Yeah, I have him. I just don't think he's part of this session of the itinerant Moogle.
Hey, I'm just happy when they start pushing it back because I know time is ticking down, and I'll be able to get it. All in all, yeah, I mean, I guess a live letter. There we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bless you.
Thank you. That snuck up on me. In other Square Enix news, Forspoken is delayed. We talked about last week with Kronos and I that there was a rumor, and neither one of us were surprised by this fact. It is, in fact, delayed. Square Enix officially announced that Forspoken, originally set to come out this May, is now being pushed back to October 11th. So from May through June, July, August, September, October, 5, but it's a little less. It's about 4.5 months if you actually use the exact dates they were supposed to come out. 4.5 month delay. So not surprised that it's delayed, but Tark, are you surprised by how long it was delayed? The 4.5 months, pretty substantial delay.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, I didn't know that this. I was anticipating for like May. I was like, yes, Forspoken. I'm hyped. This is probably my second most anticipated game of 2022. So I was really looking forward to it. I was really disappointed. But we just need one more delay and we'll be in cyberpunk territory. So there we go.
Yeah. Luminous Predictions said, our vision for this exciting new IP is to deliver a game world and hero that gamers across the globe will want to experience for years to come, so getting it right is extremely important to us. To that end, during the next few months, we will focus all of our efforts on polishing the game and can't wait for you all to experience Frey's journey this fall. I don't know about you, Kronos, but that's like kind of saying it that way is kind of like saying, don't worry, the game is all done. It's done.
Yeah, 4 months is not polish time.
Yeah, but it's not.
But that is a long time. If you were trying to say this is done and we want to polish or test, have some more rounds of QA. I mean, let's think about this. Final Fantasy XIV went through a 2-week delay to finish off some additional QA that they wanted to do. I gotta believe that a 4.5 month delay isn't just polish.
Look, I love Yoshi P, right? And when he delayed 2 weeks, he said it was for polish, and that was bullshit. And this is also bullshit. But like, I mean, it's like the PR thing to do, right? They don't want to say like, hey, we found some stuff, our game's jacked up, we gotta fix it.
We found a game-breaking bug, and we need more than 3 months to fix it. We need 7 months. Sorry.
So I get it, but it's bullshit. My biggest worry though is like we don't really exactly know why it's delayed this much, other than like they're saying they need more polish time. But like, what does this mean for like 16 and remake part 2, which we've literally seen nothing about?
Yeah, funny you should mention that, because yesterday, it's almost like we plan segues sometimes. Yesterday, Sony ran its State of Play. And this one focused on global partners, so naturally Square Enix was going to be in the mix. There were rumors ahead of the show that Final Fantasy XVI was probably going to be talked about in the State of Play, whether it be a new trailer or a little blurb or something about 16. Everything we've heard from Square Enix's camp and Yoshi P has been, we're going to hear something soon here. They kind of alluded to Q2 springish in one of Yoshi P's chats. So this would have been a little ahead of Yoshi P's chat, but I wouldn't have been surprised. Unfortunately, we heard nothing about it. So before we go any further with what was in the State of Play, were you surprised, Tark, that 16 wasn't there in some way? And second question, when are we going to see it now? Because to me, we got either E3 or Square Enix's summer showcase, and if they pick one of those, it's going to be their own summer showcase that they drop it in. I don't really see anything else on the calendar. I don't think you would do Sony's next state of play. That would be too close to your own showcase. So why not just do your own showcase at that point? I don't think it would be in the next state of play. So when are we going to see anything on 16? Or, to Adam's point, 7.2 remake?
7.2 remake's probably not going to be, if anything, towards the end of this year. As far as 16, I wasn't disappointed because I really wasn't expecting it. I saw those rumors, like, no, we're not hearing anything about it at this point. I do concur that the summer showcase does seem like the most logical point, because it's going to be the tail end of the summer or spring. So, that way Yoshi P's not a liar, and we get a little bit of news then.
Now, we usually don't see Square at E3, Kronos, so I would assume that if they wanted to go the E3 route, it would be part of PlayStation's presentation at that point. Yeah. And I don't think if you're Square Enix, like, as much as they're paying you, I don't think you want to give the announcement to Sony at E3. Like, you want to make that announcement on your show. Unless Sony was like, here's a couple extra bucks, and you were like, no, all right, take it to E3.
you maybe, I mean, there's a case to be made, though, right? Because more people definitely watch the PlayStation thing than are going to watch the summer Square Enix thing. So maybe if you just want, like, more eyes on the game.
Well, I guess. Okay, so cynical marketer in me is like, hey, the people that are looking for 16 news, they're already watching the summer showcase. True. So yeah, we don't have to worry about them. Let's not put it in the summer showcase.
People would be mad, though. I think you'd have some upset people because it's been a while already.
I think they could do at Sony State of Play, like, do the release date announcement and maybe some more cinematic stuff, and then do gameplay stuff and systems during their summer showcase, so they could double dip.
We still think in 2023, or could we possibly see this one leak into 2024?
I would hope it's 2023. At this point, like, 7 remakes looking like 2025 or something.
Yeah.
we might get to play the end of 7 remake before I'm like 60.
Yeah. my
Before
grandkids,
my hands stop working.
My grandkids will have to read the text to me.
And play the game for you because their hands won't work.
No, I'll play it. They'll have to deal with watching it. I'm playing it. They'll just have to read it to me. We did get a lot of Square Enix stuff, to be fair, though, at the State of Play, including the announcement that the Stranger of Paradise demo is live, an announcement that kind of got beat by itself a few hours earlier in the demo being available and leaked, that it was available prior to the State of Play. But as we've seen in typical last couple of Square Enix games fashion, you can go play the demo and carry that progress into launch of Stranger of Paradise. This is one that Damina, my wife, loves, like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, those games. She hasn't played Elden Ring yet, but she's just busy with work right now. She actually really loves those, even more so than I do. So I do this show. She's probably in chat. Yeah, she's in chat, but she's not listening. Because she saw a commercial yesterday on YouTube for this and was like, oh, what is that? Is that a new Final Fantasy game? I was like, bitch! How many shows have we talked about this on and done the demo and all this stuff? And I said, yeah, it's basically a retelling of Final Fantasy I in a Demon Souls type difficulty game. And she was like, are you kidding me? And I was like, no. And she was like, I'm going to have to play that. And I was like,
Lord,
you should watch the damn show. You should watch the damn show. So the demo is live. And I will have any of you played the demo? Did you get a chance to?
I haven't played the new one yet.
At this point, I'm just going to wait for the release.
Don't. Go play the demo. You played in the previous two, right?
Yeah, I played the previous two. At this point, I know what I'm getting. I'm just going to wait for the release. And
dude, play the first one. Or play the demo. The improvements they made between the first and the second were good, right? Remember, we were like, they fixed a lot of the lighting issues, and they've fixed even more.
Ooh.
They have, like, with motion blur and then some other stuff. Like, it is really, really solid. It is really solid.
They're really good about that, honestly.
Yeah, they have been on this one.
I mean Ninja.
Yeah, because it certainly isn't Square. Babylon's Fall is a train wreck.
This state of play in my mind is them trying to make people forget Babylon's Fall exists. Because that's taken harder than Avengers. Like it's not even close. But back to like Team Ninja, like they did this with Neo. I feel like Neo started out, they had like a first demo. It was very rough, and then they released like 2 more demos, and they fixed a lot of stuff. And that's what you should do with demos. Like the way they do demos, it's like a clinic on what you should do.
Yeah.
Like you release them, they're basically like betas, right? Yeah. And you've actually fixed stuff instead of just releasing a demo with more content. You actually fix the game. And
it's really good. The demo is really, really good. And then, like I said, your progress carries over. Yeah, Babylon's Fall on Steam charts. And again, I know it's a PlayStation 4 or 5 title as well, but stop it. It's 158 on Steam charts right now. 24-hour peak, 63 or 632. It's all-time peak. All-time peak, which it didn't make on launch day, by the way, was 1,166 Steam players.
That's rough.
I think Square Enix should get out of the live service game, other than like 14.
We're going to talk about something in a few minutes here on that end. But we also got 2 titles that nobody knew about. Nobody knew about.
What?
Yeah. Nobody knew about it. Tarkoth was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, no, really? And he was like, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. See, now what had happened was they decided to reveal the Diofield Chronicle. And let me just put it like this for all of you out there. If you didn't watch this, I'm showing the trailer here. Go check the trailer out. And if you like Fire Emblem and tactical RPGs with 3 houses or 3 factions type deal, this is Square Enix's version. I mean, there's no real way to not put it that way, Tark. This is Square Enix's answer to Fire Emblem.
Okay, so the question with the Fire Emblem, is that a real time, or is that just straight turn based?
Fire Emblem is grid.
It's grid.
Okay, so this one's a real time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that, but you can still pause it and issue commands and stuff. So I like the real time aspect to it. I thought it was like triangle strategy for the PS4 and PS5. Like they just did different graphics, but then I realized as it was going on, it was a whole different game. But I am stoked. I'm not really big on the name Diofield Chronicle. I kind of prefer triangle strategy, actually.
Dude.
As weird as that is.
Triangle strategy is such a dumb name. Shut up.
I prefer this because at least like there's some intrigue there. Triangle strategy is just like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's a 3-sided shape, dude. Like, I mean,
yeah. Well,
take a look at our new stunning RPG, Rock Paper Scissors. Yeah, buddy, nailed it. What do we want to call this? It's a new adventure. Call it New Adventure. No.
They should have just called this Square Enix Presents Totally Not 3 Houses.
Yeah, totally not Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I love this type of gameplay, so I can't wait to get a peek at this one. And to Tark, your point, I do like the real time aspect of it too. Although, yeah, I mean, you could go ahead and we're getting it this year.
Yeah, that was another surprise. Is that 2022 was like, what? All right.
So that means it'll be delayed until 2023.
Yeah. The way things have been going, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then we also got.
I was shocked on this.
I was too. Valkyrie Elysium. So if you've played any of the Valkyrie series, it's been around for ages now. We're getting another one, Kronos. We're getting another one. And honestly, I am stunned by that because 4 wasn't great. Wasn't great. And it's kind of felt like the series has been on a bit of a downward for me. I'm happy that we're getting another one, but it's also like Star Ocean for me, where I'm happy we're getting another one, but they've kind of been on the downswing lately, and I'm a little nervous that it's like, if this doesn't do it, we're done. If this doesn't do it, we're done. But it looks gorgeous. I love this like pastel type artwork or art color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's exactly what this is, though, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
this is Star Ocean, and this is the last chance for these franchises. I think if they don't do well, assuming
When was the last
um,
time we got a Valkyrie
it's been a
game?
while.
Wasn't it Samara with the PS2 or PS3?
I actually don't remember the last time. I
No.
think it's been later than that. I feel like we got one in the Xbox 360 era, like PS3, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't remember the last time, to be honest. I'm not huge into these series. Like, I play way more Star Ocean than this. But this looks better than Star Ocean to me, at least at first glance. So
Yeah,
we'll
it does
see. I'll
look a lot better.
probably give it a try. But I do think it has to
Valkyrie
succeed.
Profile was in 99.
Mhm.
Then 2 was in 2006 on the PS2. And then Covenant of the Plume. I'm not 4. I meant Origin, which is coming up next. Covenant of the Plume was 2008 on the DS. And then the Origin, which is what I mistaken for the other Valkyrie series, for the Origin on iOS and Android, was 2016 in Japan. And then Elysium in 2022. So it hasn't been that long. I mean, it's been 12, 13 years for a proper non-mobile release, I guess, if you want to count it that way, Tark.
Yeah, that's kind of. I forgot about Covenant of the Plume. So, but I'm excited. It looks like they might be changing up the gameplay formula from the last one I played, which is Samara. But
there's just huge soft spots in my heart for Valkyrie Profile, though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Huge soft spots in my
Lenneth,
heart for
is awesome.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Is that 22? Is this 2022 as well? Did they give a date?
Yeah.
They're trying to make us less sad for all the delays. I'll take it.
Hold on, I'm gonna double check because that was according to Wiki. Yeah, 2022.
Word.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Speaking of things that are out, though, gents, let's give some of our thoughts. I'm going to defer on one, and I have a feeling the other one you guys are going to defer right back to me. That's why I put both of them on the show here today. So let's do kind of mini review, right? They've only been out for, well, one of them about a week, and then another one today. So let's not put these as final. We'll circle back and give final reviews when you've had a chance to beat games and things like that. But Tark, Project Triangle Strategy, that was before launch. Now just Triangle Strategy. How you enjoying it?
I'm loving the combat. Definitely has Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics vibes on it. There's not much variety in Tactics. You could have your characters pretty much do anything, and fit your characters to mold the situation. Here, characters are fixed, and you can upgrade them in their class path. But I also think that there's just not enough combat to go around. Like, I spend maybe an hour in cutscenes and exploration mode for every 30 minutes that I do combat, and it's a little. Give me some more meat on these bones. I do like story. I do like the political intrigue, but I need some more combat. I need some more gameplay.
So that was something that happened in the demo, too. The demo was 4 hours long, and there were 2.5 hours of cutscenes, and an hour and a half of combat, basically, 3 battles, I think it was, in the demo before it came out. And a lot of people were saying, yeah, it does kind of start that way, too, but then it starts to balance out. You're saying that in your book, it didn't balance out enough for what you would like?
Maybe I haven't just gotten that deep, unfortunately. With all my situations that have been going on, I'm only at chapter 5. So, but I'm liking it enough that I can keep going. I just wish there was more.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kronos? I know you've been enjoying this one and tweeting and putting on Facebook and stuff.
So I'm gonna be a little harsh, but I'll start out with a nice thing. I think the combat in this game is insanely good when you're actually playing the combat. I'm deeper than Tarkoth, and I don't think it balances out. I think the cutscene to battle ratio is 5-1, something like that. And that's I'm just kind of guessing. That's not an exact. I don't know how many cutscenes there are exactly, but that's how it feels like to me. I think I don't like the linear stuff, like Tark said too. I just wish, because it feels like to me that once I beat it, the only replayability is going to be like, okay, well, how can I answer stuff differently? Maybe there's like a different battle that I get to because I do something different in a chapter, which is cool. But I just wish that on top of that, there was actual like literally each class, it's one line. And each weapon, you don't even get to buy weapons. Like your guy comes with a weapon. It's basically part of his class, and that weapon has like a tree, and it's not even really a tree because you can pretty much unlock everything except for like a couple things you actually have to choose. Um, which to me is a bit disappointing, just because when you have a game like Final Fantasy Tactics, for example, the customization is insane. Like I could play a playthrough, and even though I'm playing the second playthrough with the same story, like all my characters are different. And I think because they wanted to make everything so story tied, there's no real like jobber characters, I guess. Like everybody's like a character in the story. Although there's like obvious main characters and the other people kind of get shoved to the side. I just wish there was a little bit less exposition, a lot more battles. I think it could random battles would have helped a lot. I think the mock battles that you get, which are like they're kind of random battles, you can just repeat them, but they're the same. Like if I do mock battle 3 and I want to like grind to level up or something, like say that's what I want to do, I do mock battle 3 again, same enemies, same like layout, same stage.
Wow.
And so like to me that's a bit lame. But man, when you play and you like learn the battle and you figure out how like all the elements work together, and like it really matters like where you put certain units, and height matters a lot more. Like there's just things that matter that don't matter in other tactical games that matter in this, that make it feel really cool when you and satisfying when you do it correctly. I just wish there was more of it, man. Like that's my real big knock on the game, but I love the gameplay. I think the exploration stuff too, just the last thing, should just be completely fucking cut from the game. I think it's boring and terrible.
Yeah.
Like running around waiting for something shiny to pop up on my thing is terrible. The stuff with the scales where you're supposed to like convince people, that's kind of cool. But like,
I like that.
But like the exploration stuff where I'm just running around talking to people, waiting for something to shine on my map to pick it up, it's kind of lame.
Yeah, I mean, it's picking up like 8s out of 10s. Like, and a lot of the same stuff that you guys are talking about. I haven't myself had a chance to play yet, so I will obviously abstain from giving any type of review here until I have had a chance to play it. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the same things. Like, if you like graphic novels and strategy games, this is like made for you. If you're not, you're probably going to be a little bored with the amount of reading, and some people comparing it to War of the Roses, obviously, and some stuff like that. So I don't know. I love Final Fantasy Tactics. Obviously, Tark, you referenced Ogre as well. Just fantastic series. I don't know if I want to sit through dull political intrigue just to experience snippets of great combat. I don't know if it's going to actually make my...
If you don't care, you can skip the cutscenes, but it does kind of feel bad. I've thought about it sometimes, man. I haven't done it yet. Because the story is pretty interesting, but it's kind of like, remember we talked about Endwalker, right?
Yeah.
And how there were just sections where you didn't fight anything, which is fine for some people. But for me, man, I just started doing fates because I'm like, dude, I gotta punch something. Like I just want to punch something in game.
Gotta do something.
And so I would just go do a fate before I did the next quest or something like that, just to feel like I was playing my class. And the only option you have in this is to repeat a battle that's the same.
Yeah, it's like doing the same fate over and over and over again.
Right.
It's like, okay, that's just boring.
On the other hand, I have played Chocobo GP. Came out today. Have you gents had a chance to play it yet, or am I on my own for this one?
I played it very briefly. I'm going to play it after this, though. After we're done.
I'm going to play it after this.
I'm out on this.
Do you not like Mario Kart or stuff like that? Tark?
You cut out there.
You don't like Mario Kart? It wasn't me to cut out, brother.
I'm not a big kart game person, so.
Okay.
It's also there's a free version, by the way.
There is, yeah. So there's Chocobo GP Lite, which is free on your Nintendo Switch, and it gives you limited access to stuff. Particularly if you have a friend that does own the game, then you can do some other stuff there too. So check it out if you want to just get a feel for it. Chocobo GP Lite. Obviously, the comparisons to Mario Kart come flying out. We have had a Chocobo Racing way back on the PlayStation 1, so this isn't like straight we're copying. That one was straight they're copying back in the day when they did Chocobo Racing. I gotta say, and I don't know if you feel the same, Kronos, it is not as approachable as a Mario Kart title typically is.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I went immediately into story mode so that I could start unlocking characters first. And story mode, there's a beginner and a master one, and they teach you the mechanics of the game. So it's the tutorial too, like how you steer and how you drift and what items do, and all with this little wrapped up in this little cutesy, very chibi story. The story is great just as a Final Fantasy fan. I'm not saying it's a good story. It's not. It's dumb as hell. But you will see tons of characters along the way in what will probably take you just a few hours to work your way through and unlock all these people. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very fourth wall breaking. It's like they all know something is off here that all of these characters are meeting. Like at one point, you do go to Alexandria, and that's a course, and you meet Vivi and Steiner. And the whole premise is, hey, we're all going to go to this race, and whoever wins this race gets their wish granted. And so they all like keep asking each other, like, what's your wish? And little Vivi, he says, I think I would wish that I don't have to say my memories will be part of the sky. And then one of the other characters goes, wow, that got grim fast. Like, it is very... Ifrit is the firefighter of the... which is just funny in its own right. He's the firefighter for one of the racetracks. Everybody keeps pretending that they don't remember Gilgamesh's name, so it becomes a running joke of who are you, who are you, who are you? Every hero asking him that every time he appears. It's funny and charming, but don't expect a lot narratively. That's not the point. I will say, though, the first race you have to do is a one-on-one with Gilgamesh. And all they teach you in that race is how to hold the gas button and how to drift into turns so that you can get a boost of speed out of the turn. And I figured, yeah, fuck it. I'm just going to hold A and smoke this guy, and I lost. Like, right off the bat, you better... Here is the drift mechanic. Master this. If you don't master this, you cannot possibly win races. So, do it. And it is challenging. Perhaps it might be more fair to say that sometimes the game is unfair. Like, a lot unfair. And you will fluke into first place, or you will fluke into last place at the last moment. Like, it's chaotic sometimes to the point where who won was a coin flip. And then, yeah, we do have to talk about Kronos, that this is absolutely 100% a game as a live service.
Mm-hmm.
There is a $50 box fee. There is a battle pass. Now, they give you the Season 1 battle pass with the purchase of the game, but subsequent battle passes will have the free tier and the spend tier. There are 3 frickin' currencies in the game: Gil, tickets, and the cash shop gems. And the cash shop does have rotating items. And yeah, so it is 100% live service. Now, there are multiple multiplayer online modes that I haven't spent a lot of time with yet. I'm going to do that after the show today. So I don't want to review those quite yet, but I'm kind of in the air on this one. It is fun. It is challenging. It is super cute, obviously. Nothing is cuter than taunting somebody behind you with your provoke animation as the Chocobo. But I don't know if it has the staying power that warrants it being a live service. Like, I don't think at the moment it does. And so I'm going to have to play some more and watch. What did you think, Kronos, in the limited time you've been able to play?
Yeah, like I barely did it, touched it, to be honest. Like I've cut it off. So the thing that kind of turned me off immediately is like the menu screen looks like a mobile game to me, which I think kind of
It
ties into the
does.
fact that it
It
really
does.
like yeah, like you have your currencies across the top and like it's
Yeah.
just it kind of turned me off. I'm hoping that like when I play it a little bit more, it's gonna be fun. I just wish it wasn't. I always hate when games do this, so like it always kind of bugs me. I just wish it was just a game.
And they're holding characters ransom too.
Yeah, I
So
know.
like
Like I think Cloud's behind the battle pass, right?
That's
Cloud
rough.
is Cloud is level 60 of the battle pass, of which you can buy the head start season bundle if you want, or shell out some cash for a couple tiers on that battle pass so you don't miss out on Cloud. You know, so there is that
disguised as a
yeah.
console game.
Yeah, oh absolutely. Absolutely. It's
rough.
fun though, but I just like I don't think it has the staying power to have really made it a live service.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And I'll be honest, I'll probably try to play it just like it's a game with, and try to ignore as much of like the paywall
Same
stuff
here.
as I can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same here.
And then just kind of like hopefully I enjoy it that way. But it kind of does leave a bad taste in my mouth a little bit.
Last thing I'm going to leave you with before we go to Love It or Leave It, Guardians of the Galaxy. If you didn't get a chance to check it out, now on Game Pass.
Nice.
Congratulations. Let's have it over and do Love It or Leave It. Love It or Leave It is the segment we end every episode of the Relic Grind here with. It's where I give you something Square Enix related. Could be a game, a press release, something the company did, or just anything tangentially related to Square Enix. And you tell me whether you love it, want more of it, leave it, never want to see it again. Gentlemen, I'm going to put you right on the spot. I know it's only been about a week, but I'm going to say if you had to make the call right now, love it, you're going to keep playing it, or leave it, you're never going to touch it again. You have to pick one right now. Triangle strategy. What do you got, Tark?
I love the engine, the 2D HD. I love Tactics Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics. I'm okay with the name. The political intrigue is okay so far, but there's a limited story that I've gotten into. Just not enough combat, in my opinion. But I'm going to love it because I do want to keep going. I do want to beat this game. I want to finish it.
So that's a love it. That's a love it.
That's a love it.
We'll go to Kronos next.
Yeah, I know it's harsh, but I do. It's a love it for me too. I do really like the combat in the game. I just wish there was more than one fight per chapter.
Yeah,
that's really it.
I'm going to go with leave it just because I haven't had a chance to play it, and I got other things to play anyway. So, if I have to leave it, I leave it.
Never going to play it. Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to play it. I just have no idea when at this point. There's so much. February and March are just rough.
Yeah.
They're just rough. Absolutely rough. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you like it? You want more of it or not? Chat, don't go anywhere right after the show. Sneaking into her chair. I saw you. Ms. Faye Death. What's up, Faye?
What up? Another day, another week. I should be playing Alien, but we're taking a break.
Oh, got to take a break. What are we playing then?
Yeah, we are playing Ruined King, a League of Legends story.
Ooh.
It's
Ooh. Are you are you a League of Legends player? Like, is that, do you like MOBAs and stuff?
They're not really my thing. It's one of my gamer aspirational goals. Is I would like to be technically better at them.
That's me in Rocket League, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Diamond player.
League to me is as you
I can't break Diamond 2. I'm stuck at Diamond 2. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. But League especially, I've always just really liked the world and the characters, and I think it's a really interesting space, and I felt really locked out of it because of that, because it is such a toxic community.
Baron calling you out. We were so close to beating Alien Isolation.
You want me to, I mean, okay. if Baron wants me to, I will. But we were going to get back to it next week. I was just being lazy.
Yeah, take a break. Go ahead. Take a break. Go ahead.
Yeah, my heart needs a rest. I'm getting old. You don't want me to have a heart attack on stream.
Wow.
Chat, give us a few minutes in between shows so we can queue up Faye Death and hang out with her. We'll be back, of course, next week, next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. But don't miss the Always Online podcast tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/MMOBomb, where we talk about all things multiplayer gaming, including Noob Fridge's review of Star Wars Legacy of the Sith expansion for Star Wars The Old Republic. And then we'll be right back here Saturday with our Gaming Gumbo episode talking about the week in gaming, including Nintendo World coming to the United States. So chock-filled shows all across the board. Make sure you join us. We'll be back next Thursday. Until then, Kronos, where can everybody find you?
Oh, yeah, same as always, Twitter. Also, take it from a person who played League for like 2 years. You're probably a better person for not playing it.
But the characters are good.
It is a cool world. I'm glad they're making other games.
Cool.
That's not League.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what they do MMO-wise.
Yeah, the fighting game, it looks pretty sweet. So
It is awesome.
Arcane is incredible. If you haven't watched it, you really need to.
I have, yeah.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Tark, where can everybody find you?
Twitter, YouTube, all at Tarkoth Gaming, and I promise to have my audio fixed for next week.
Sounds good. I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at MagicMan1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO. So we'll send you a tweet every time we're going live with a podcast, a stream by me or one of our volunteer streamers who I love so much. Until next time, gang, stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers. Later.